I am Hermes, messenger of the gods, here to bring her message in my hermetic communication. The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. We have all seen the movie. We have all read the story. So why do I bring up the Wizard of Oz? Well, this story is a complete allegory detailing the psychodrama that all of us, all children of the Black Sun, are involved in right now. This story details the loss of the divine feminine, the journey of Sophia, who plunged down along with us into chaos, and finding our way back home. So, the story begins with Dorothy Gale of Kansas, who is experiencing some internal strife, growing and growing, because her neighbor wants to take away her dog. So, she is very, very distraught about this entire situation, and within her, she is starting to experience aggression, anger, resentment, all of these dualistic qualities. Now, amidst this chaos, Dorothy finds herself in the middle of a tornado. She ends up hitting her head, and then when the tornado has calmed down, she exits her home to find that she is no longer in Kansas, but she is in the land of Oz, the magical land of Oz. Now, Dorothy is Sophia. Dorothy is the divine feminine, which we are all aspects of, who plunged into dualism, plunged into Wonderland. This is the same thing as Alice falling asleep, going into the rabbit hole, and being in the dreamland of Wonderland. Even before she came to Oz, she wanted to get away. She felt this need to run away.
We've got to get away. We've got to run away.
So Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, ends up directing her to follow the yellow brick road. And she details the path. She says, you start on the yellow brick road and you end up at the Emerald City. Now, there's a very good reason why Glinda is the Good Witch of the North, because as we've been talking about on this channel, the macrocosmic reflection of the Hyperborean paradise is at the North Pole, at what we would call the North Pole. So we all start on the yellow brick road and we end up at the Emerald City, meaning we end up in the heart space. This is Hyperborea. As I've said, this is a program our higher selves have dictated. This is a program. We were meant to plunge into duality because, like Dorothy, we experienced internal struggle. And the only way to resolve it was to face our fears, to face the Wicked Witch of the West. And so, we are going back to the heart, and I've shown this chart before, but we are actually sleeping, just like Dorothy, in the halls of Amenti. And so we plunged into a realm that is in tune with the solar plexus chakra. And from here, we are activating the heart, meaning we are activating new realms with our collective intent. And so, just like Dorothy realizes at the end, there's no place like home, we are realizing this as well. We wanted to be separated. We wanted to be fragmented. We chose this dualism, but we have suffered enough. And so we shall go to the Emerald City, absolutely. Absolutely. But then we shall ascend even upwards, even more and more, because the Emerald City, the heart chakra, is merely the bridge from the lower to the higher chakras. So it doesn't end there. It does not end there. We are ascending up and up and up. But of course, our first destination is Hyperborea. Hyperborea, as I have said in the past, literally is broken down meaning beyond the aurora borealis, Hyperborea, borealis. So all the while, the Wicked Witch of the West is trying to impede on the path of Dorothy and her friends because she wants Dorothy's ruby slippers. Now, this Wicked Witch is representative of our shadows, of Dorothy's shadow, of the shadow aspect of Sophia. Because we plunged into duality, we found ourselves terrorized, seemingly terrorized by these shadows. However, as we all know, the Wicked Witch only threatens. She only creates fear. And at the end, when Dorothy discovers that she is the power, that she is the one, that she is the all, she just throws water on the witch and she melts. I'm melting, I'm melting. This is what happens to our shadows when we recognize that indeed they are just shadows. They are not scary. In fact, they're laughable. Oz is representative of Osiris. This is what Oz means. As we all know the myth by now, Osiris was put back together by Isis, meaning we were all split apart, and what can redeem us is the Emerald Goddess. Now, the great and powerful Oz, who Dorothy and her friends see, is indeed representative of the Demiurge. But the Demiurge is not evil. Everybody has thought this whole time that the Demiurge was just this arrogant god who put us into bondage. Absolutely not. The Demiurge is not evil. The Demiurge demands courage and perseverance, just like the great and powerful Oz in the movie says. You know, you have to face the Wicked Witch of the West. You have to face your shadows. And after they do, they are rewarded. Now, as we've been talking about, everybody who has spilled their blood over their divine intent, who have connected their heart energy with the Mother Goddess, shall be ascending very, very soon. We are going to Hyperborea. This is Shambhala. This is the Garden of Eden. A key element that this movie reveals is the fact that all of us are connected, and we have been through this so many times. We are the same people, the same gods and goddesses performing this act of loss and remembrance over and over again. And this is why the farm workers who are very much in tune with Dorothy at the beginning, they're the same ones who she ends up finding. They are the same actors who play the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the great and powerful Oz. This is no coincidence. All of us, all blood family, all of my blood brothers and sisters, Hail Sophia, Hail Ma'at, we are all eternally connected. And so this is indeed why we have found ourselves in the midst of the land of the dead, of the land of the dead. Osiris, Oz, Osiris, as we know, is the Lord of the underworld. However, he shall be resurrected just like us. Isis shall put us back together, and she already is. Sophia, the great mother, her divine feminine energy is circulating throughout. There's no place like home. I am Hermes, messenger of the gods. I intend to connect with the heart. I am the earth. I am the goddess. We are the all. We are the one. I intend to bring forth a golden age of expansion and truth. So, if we just pay attention to Mother Earth, the divine goddess who expresses Gaia, we see everything is connected. Every root is connected. Every single fiber of every organism is ultimately a part of another organism. So it's a little strange to think that during this time of ascension, we will be disconnected from the Mother Goddess, even though all we see is connection and harmony. I will say it again. We are the living souls of Asgard. We are the children of the eternal return. And just as everything in this landscape we call nature is connected, we are all connected too, and we are all realizing this right now. How glorious, how glorious.
I am the light, you are the light, we are the one, we are the all, we are the goddess, we are the one, we are the truth, and we are the beauty.
The first body, our physical body, is 60 to 70% water. Then we have this etheric double or ethereal body, described as a fog-like substance 1 to 2 inches around the body. It lives in a higher energy universe, and normally it's invisible to the naked eye, but Robert Monroe, the famed out-of-body investigator from the Monroe Institute, argues that to be visible, it must either reflect or radiate light. So look at our tube holder here and ask yourself, is it possible that this is showing his radiant etheric body, his ethereal double body, or his plasma body, and that in fact this figure is actually holding a plasma tube. Again, this interpretation is speculative, but it certainly does raise the stakes in what we're actually dealing with here at Dendera. Plasma life forms have bioplasma bodies. They are electromagnetic bodies which generate electromagnetic fields and radiate electromagnetic waves similar to the aurora borealis, which is also plasma. If we carry this thought forward and go back and look at Osiris and some of the other images of the Egyptian gods and compare them with plasma displays of the aurora borealis, it starts to give us this possibility of interpreting Amun, who's shown with blue skin, a yellow kilt, and a red top crown, as in fact a plasma being. Again, highly speculative, but worth considering that what we're actually dealing with here are more advanced plasma beings than what we've previously considered in our studies of ancient Egypt.